Is common sense coming back to entertainment?
I don't know if common sense is coming back, but I think the market is reacting to some of the oversteps of the last 15 years. Um, it's hard to say. I mean, if you want to get very specific, obviously some of the DEI stuff is definitely getting a pushback, and it's a very controversial word when you say DEI. If you say woke or you say any of these particular words, because it inflames everybody, but there has definitely been sort of a political agenda. And I think it was commercially related. I don't think it was just coming out of people just saying, we want to virtue signal and do good things. I think people were actively trying to carve up the marketplace and go for very specific demographics. I think they made certain calculations, and I think they just overstepped, and it was wrong. So you'll see a pushback, and I think they'll go back to basics on some things. I mean, Hollywood is a very progressive place. It's artist driven, so you're never going to get past a certain level of virtuous human being that wants to present themselves a certain way. But I do think on a basic capitalist idea of who you're selling to and how you're selling, that stuff is getting corrected a little bit, anyways, from what I see.
I would say from where I sit, because I see almost every movie released in theaters, I'd say there's been an overcorrection, and they've replaced some bad old stereotypes with new bad stereotypes, where I can look at the identity of a character in a film, in an ensemble. I know what's going to happen. It's made storytelling boring in many ways. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, part of it comes from, I think there's just a lot of different agendas being pushed by individuals.
Right.
Like, for instance, if you're a filmmaker, you can take a choice in life very early on. And I saw this particular choice. Now, part of it may be that I just come from a different era, like when I started filmmaking in the early 90s, there was no internet. There was no camera fixated on a filmmaker. You could say pretty invisible. And my name was pretty neutral, Joseph Kahn. You didn't really know what that was. The reality was in the 90s, I hid the fact I was Asian. And people couldn't figure out that I was Asian until like in the mid 2000s when Making the Video was on me. And I was like, oh boy, this is going to be a big problem for me, because I remember like getting on set, especially when I'm doing rap videos. Nobody knew what I was until I got on set. And that was kind of an enigma, And now people, to get jobs, push their identity forward. Like if you try to do a commercial, a lot of times, especially I would say in the last 10 years, people would go, we need a female race. We need something. And they will literally cast you according to your identity before you even get to pitch on the commercial. Or they're
Really?
people definitely want. Oh yeah, of course. That's that would happen in the directing part of it, but it would definitely happen. I mean, obviously on the casting part of it. Whenever you do a commercial, you're definitely looking at like, who are the demographics, what's the mix, who are you selling to? If you have a couple on screen, one of the reasons you see a lot of mixed race couples up on screen isn't necessarily because these things actually exist to the degree that they do in commercials, because it checks off boxes for a lot of the agencies and companies. By having a mixed race couple, you have one of each particular race.
Yeah. You have two boxes to check off.
You just hit a lot of boxes, and you can solve a lot of problems doing that. So that you can say that is a virtue sort of push, but I view it from a different point of view. I just see it as being a little bit, self-defensive. It's like people want to keep their jobs. You have to imagine like people that do commercials, like an agency, like a creative team might be working on this for 6 months, and that's the only commercial they're working on for 6 months. So when they finally get a chance to put it on air, they're going to check off the boxes that most likely, hit them. Sorry, someone's
your ring.
It's all good. Your Ring doorbell's working.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the point where when I see a not mixed race couple, when I see like, oh my gosh, there is a white woman with a white husband.
I mean, you feel like you can breathe now.
There's an Asian family, like an Asian family, like just all like I'm surprised when they don't have a mixed race couple. It's almost it's become so constant. And of course we live in LA, we see it, and all like, yes, mixed race couples, they exist, but to the degree that they're overrepresented in like commercials and in TV, it's almost like you roll your eyes now. Like
It's a silly thing because what I've noticed in the entertainment business over my last 35 years is that people chase after things that are successful, and whether it's an IP, whether it's a creative idea, whether it's an actor, whether it's a filmmaker, whatever it is, they go towards whatever is the proven formula. So the mixed race thing is a proven formula, and it has a lot of things going for it, in terms of like the acceptance over at the corporate level and the other level, and then in terms of like just seeing it actively get on television. Before you know it, it becomes this sort of meme, this sort of viral meme that everyone tries to replicate. And so here's the thing: nothing ever changes until it becomes super obvious that people have overdone it. So I remember saying, like, for instance, if you think American TV is bad, there was one time in the UK market when you watch their Christmas commercials, because their Christmas commercials are like our Super Bowl. It's like the most expensive commercials come in. And I swear to you, I think it was around 2022 or 2023. Every commercial was a black person. Every commercial, one after another in the UK. And they're like less of the population. Here in America, it's like 13% of the population. In the UK, it's like 5 to 6% of the population. But literally every single commercial was either a mixed race black couple or a black couple. And you saw what was happening. It was fear in that marketplace. It's like everybody had their agenda. It was their one commercial of the year. So everybody had to check that box to the point when you actually saw it run back to back. There were no white people in the UK, basically. So that's the way it kind of works.